Alright, I'm sorry about that. My train of thought was a little distracted. Basically, what we're trying to say here is that um, if the prices were lowered of everything, we brought the prices down, that would help the overall value of the dollar be better, seeing how the dollar price may or may not change against the other global dollars that are out there. If we look at a reverse effect, if you turn the imagery of how things are done upside down and put things backwards, you'll see that, let's say you have something from a scale of 1 to 100, 100 being over here and 1 being over here. And we're starting at what looks like the 1. As the 1 moves this way, it moves to the 100. Or if you were to start from the 100, it would move to the 1. Well, the problem is that no matter what in a balanced universe, you have something moving from one direction to the other, and or one direction to the other. There's basically the beginning and the end. No matter what, in a three-dimensional, four-dimensional world, you have time, space, continuum, etc. Everything that goes forward, it looks like everything goes forward, and we all look at the past as what's already written and been done. But also in the meantime, is that if you have something that's in the present, you're also leaving a trail of what's in the past. Therefore, what happens is, if you think about it, we're only looking in the forward and the future, what's in the forward. Okay, if you look at what's in the past, it's like if you could scope, it's like a paradigm. The yin yang symbol, it's got dark black color, and then it's got the white color, and then you got the good and bad and evil in it. Okay, what you really need to do is look at the fact that it's like filling a glass of milk up. This is probably a better explanation, more simpler for common terms. If you fill a glass of milk up, you start at the bottom and it fills to the top. As you drink it, it goes from the top, it goes to the bottom, it all comes back out. That's the same way if you look at the $1 and the $10, the $1, and if you look at the 1 and the $100 scenario, there will be 1 to 100, and as you move from 1 to 100, you're filling it up to the 100 mark. Now, if you move from the 100 mark to the 1 mark, you're doing what's called a reverse track. That's the same way sort of what's happening in our monetary style type of government dictatorship. That what we're doing is we're taking, as it appears, we're going from a level of dictatorship of going from something that cost from 5 cents to 10 cents to 100 cents to a dollar, and then it goes from a dollar up to $100, say such as the one item. As it goes to $100, it then goes to $1,000. It continues to climb. But if you take that whole idea and you flip it over on top of itself, all we're doing is we're taking, if it'd be like taking it from a very high statute and bring it back down to a lower statute. This is really hard to understand. When the idea of this is that um, what we're doing is we're working in a backwards form. It looks forward, but it's actually a backwards form, because what we're doing is we're continuing to raise the prices on things. We're continuing to raise the prices on things, and it looks like what we're doing is we're raising the prices on things, but there's also the negative adverse effect of that, and that I didn't make notes or anything to preclude this, but what's going to happen is that the things will go from the 5 cents to the 100 cent. Then they'll go to the 1,000 cent, or to the dollar, the $10 to the $100 and to $1,000. As we continue to do that, overall, what happens is it continues and continues and continues. If you were to basically, you're just filling up this, you're just filling up the glass full of milk. Sometimes what you got to do is bring the glass of milk back down, and what that's going to do is that's going to help overall our entire world population, because what we're doing is we're dealing with several other world nations as well as our own. Basically, we have the US, we have Great Britain that have very high dollar to ratios, and there's other countries out there that got higher dollar aspect ratios than ours. When you look at that, as we continue to have our dollar value the same, okay, what's happening is, and what's going to happen in our continued state of progress, is that if we keep the dollar at $1 and they continue to trade it on the stock market at $1, and they say, well, we're going to buy in, it's going to move up $1, up or down $1, 5 or 10 cents over a hundredth of a cent, or something like that, and then all the yen and everything else changes their market value the same way, because that's what it's bid on the market system. What you're going to have happen is that no matter what, it's going to stay the same, or it'll fluctuate, and it's going to look like a presence of something that's actually happening, and there's a value of whatever. Where there comes a problem is when we're doing what we're doing here now, and that's keeping the prices the same, and we're not keeping the prices the same, we're actually raising the prices, and we're filling the prices to where they keep going higher and higher and higher. I like to use this as called the devil effect. If you're having a good effect, such as if the good Lord said basically something of this matter, that if you're supposed to do good, then you're supposed to do good to help other people at the same time. Basically, you're not helping other people, because if the idea is that what's happening is that we're starting out with a low amount and we're going to a higher amount. Okay, in the world of this being good and this being evil, okay, if we live in a paradox world of what the devil wanted us to do, if it were to be flipped around like this, and this being the good and this being the evil, we're basically moving lower down the scale into the evil pits of where God doesn't want us. If we keep it to the higher power and we stay to the higher edge, that's where we need to be. When we lower it back down like this, and we're continuing to move like this, it looks like a good scale and it looks like a good progress through. That's what we're continuing to move on, that area, that scale, that aspect. We keep putting higher values on things, because this is the greed, this is the evil, this is the needs that we want, that are set up through the ideas and ideologies of what principles are in religion and other things like that. Where is that going, and why would I bring that up? The reason why I brought that up is because when we look at a world scale, what we're doing is we're keeping our dollar values the same, which looks like that's okay. We're raising our dollar value by each percent, lowering it down, meaning we're taking the dollar and not changing it, but we're increasing the price of products and other things like that, which is greatly effective upon our nation and as other nations as well. When this happens, it begins to put a global suppression on other people. When there's a global suppression on other people, this effect is what happens. I'll explain that in the next video.